And good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Walk-Ons, where we are live for another season of Ash Trojan football. I am Doug Gann alongside of Head Coach Thomas Bachman, and as normal, now he doesn't have a plate in front of him, but he stays on that phone a lot, Coach.
Hey, it's kickoff. I was just laughing to myself whenever you said, here we are for another season, and it's just, man, you wait all winter and all summer, and wow, here we are on the eve of game one, and I was looking, I'm looking, trying to get up a score stream. You know, there's a bunch of games tonight, Ouachita and Rummel play tonight.
Right.
There's some, games even here locally. Just going to be able to keep my eye on some of it.
Look,
helps take your mind off of, what we've got coming here just for a little bit.
What's your favorite thing about a Thursday night show that's on here? That means what?
24 hours from kickoff.
There you have it.
It is my favorite. I say it every year. We're going to be standing in that coaching box, waiting on the coin toss here in a hurry, and all that anxiousness, and we're going to be playing and coaching and adjusting and doing what we do. The weight is just overwhelming sometimes.
You had the jamboree, you had the scrimmage, some great competition in the scrimmage, the jamboree. You got your JV, your freshman. Everybody was able to get some work. We've got a lot of things to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what you did in the offseason. We're going to talk about the difference in the schedule this year, because that has really ramped up a lot. We'll talk about some of the key guys that you got in this season, some new coaches that are in this season. We'll talk about your outlook, and probably the only night that I'll be able to get you to talk about games away from this week's game, because we're going to look at your schedule as well. Now, we've got it set to talk about it, because anybody that follows the show knows that you don't like to talk about the schedule much at all, but got to humor me tonight, and we'll get into that. But again,
Absolutely.
Welcome everyone. We will be live here on 446 Sports throughout the entire season. Just big thanks out to Walk-Ons for having us again, Coach. And
Ricky,
this has got to be.
Walk-Ons have been great for us. I don't know how many years we've been here now.
That's what I was just about to ask. This has got to be year 5 for us that we've been in Walk-Ons. Because we were in the station beforehand. And
it's been a great place, great host, and great atmosphere. I mean, it's a sports atmosphere, so it's great to be in it.
Well, we're excited to have you. You see all of the sponsors up in the corner above Coach Bachman's head. A big shout out to Sadler's Towing, as they are our title sponsor with Walk-Ons tonight of the Thomas Bachman Show.
And in the house tonight.
Look, she got in here. She's going to make sure that she had her table in here, and such a great family.
And that's what's great about this, is the relationships that you make. And, at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, that's what you take with you. You take the relationships. And, they've been great family. A lot of great families have come and gone through the years through this football, and it's a great thing. It's amazing how many people get involved as a result of this stuff. We were talking about, we probably took 400, 500 kids over to Pineville last week between, we probably took 150 kids, just us. We took 120, almost 130 football players, 20 student managers and filmers and all that. So we're somewhere around 50, 60 Palm members, band.
And
it
that's
had to be 150, 200 students in the student section. It's just a ton of people.
I remember us having the conversation not long ago of the numbers being down and rebuilding on their thing.
COVID kind of put a little pause, I think, for everybody. And I feel like we've recovered from that. As far as our numbers are back up, we've got a lot of participation. Excited a lot about it. It creates problems. It's hard coaching a lot of kids. There's only, so many reps to go around, and, so many coaches that we get to do it with. I am very fortunate that we have a great group of coaches, but, those are good problems to have.
How was your off season this year? I know last off season you took the guys over to Hoover for that. I know you stayed in state this year. Tell me a little bit about your off season work.
I feel like it was good. Of course, the spring and or the winter and spring are always great. Where we just spend a whole lot of time focusing on ourselves, trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, like everybody does. We obviously have our routines and our structures and how we cycle them through, an off season. The summer went well. We played in the local Sin-Law 7-on-7 that Justin Charles kind of heads up and puts together, does a phenomenal job.
Funny story. about that.
Yep.
Funny story about that. We talked about it and talked about it, and I asked him about how successful. I said, because I was joking with him at his birthday party the one night, and I said, Ash went in there and won your league. He said they did, Doug. He said, but ask Coach Bachman who his only loss was.
Yeah, no doubt.
There.
And I give him a hard time about that. And look, I love
we say that with
JC.
all the love in the world because it's such a close-knit group.
I've got a lot of admiration, a lot of respect for JC, and he works really hard putting that together. And I'm certainly appreciative of the work that he puts in because it gives us all an opportunity to compete in the summer. So it was really good to do that. Went down to a tournament in Lafayette at St. Thomas More, and so some 7-on-7, but we didn't go crazy with the 7-on-7.
Right.
To be honest with you, this summer we did do our fair share of it though.
What you see the scroll going across the bottom of it on our screen. You saw that Menard is playing tonight. Speaking of Menard, and they are one of the 3 schools that are on our family of 446 Sports here this year. We will cover Buckeye this season. We'll cover Menard, and of course we will cover each and every Ash game from the Jamboree to the Dome. Yeah,
love him. James Wood out there, just another 2 phenomenal guys that spent a lot of time with us, and we'll forever be grateful for what they invested into our program and our kids and the impact that they made on us. So, yeah, really going to keep a close eye on the progress and the results that they get out at Buckeye. Just, really a lot of respect, a lot of admiration. That's sincere and that's honest. I mean, I love those 2 guys and forever am indebted to what they gave to us and how they served us when they were at Ash.
Well, they're excited about the job. We know that, and we're certainly excited about having them on here as well. You picked up a few new players this season, getting them back from injuries from last year, different things. Tell me about some guys that you got in the offseason that you're excited and looking for. One of them was 3, of course. That Cunningham did such a fantastic job, but you got a whole host.
Had some eligibility issues here these last few years, and he's eligible, and he's a quiet kid. I think I said this on the news on Monday. Just a really quiet kid, lets his play speak for himself, doesn't say a whole lot, and one that you pull for because their stories and the behind-the-scenes stuff, and really rooting for him and hoping for a huge senior year. Of course, one that's sitting right over here as far as new to the, to the team or to the roster is, we had a kid move down from the Ruston, Monroe area. His dad got a promotion down here in the area. And Bryce Rushing, and you'll get an opportunity to talk to him here shortly. And
how great of a name that is that for a defensive lineman to come at you rushing? I mean, he's coming after you.
Right. That's right. He's made a great impact on our team. I think that he came right in. Obviously, when you're a good player, I mean, it gets you a whole lot of, notice, and you have an opportunity to have an impact. But he loves the game of football. He's not afraid to work. And I'm thankful. I really am. I mean, I'm glad that he's a good player. But beyond that, he's a good kid. He fits well in our locker room, and he's made people better with his passion and love for the game. So excited to see the senior year that he has, and that's a tough deal. Here you are having to move as a senior. So. Want it to be a success for him for sure.
Well, that's good. And look, you talked about him even being the better person. I met him tonight, and just as always, just very polite young man.
Yep.
And we see that you demand that from these guys.
Well, I'm just for it. Look, I'd say this every year. I love it. I love the kids at Ash. Love the kids that I get to coach. Been telling them all week. Not many people do it like y'all do it as far as what's demanded out of y'all every day in practice, the grit, the toughness, the physicality, the pace of play, and our kids just keep showing up and keep working and keep trying to meet every standard, every bar that we set for them. They're doing the things that we ask them to do, and so that excites you as a coach and makes you really, really thankful through the ups and downs and the hard times that are everyday life that we all experience. You kind of put it all in perspective when you got a bunch of teenage kids that are laying on the line for you and each other, and just makes you appreciative, and it makes me excited to see what we can accomplish this year. You've referenced the schedule. It's you know, we're telling the kids just this afternoon in our team meeting before we went out for a run-through is, you know, this is on purpose. You know, let's go. We know the group of kids that we have, and, you know, if you're a true competitor, you want to test yourself. You want to find out where you stack up against some of this stuff, and we do. We're anxious to find out, you know, where we stack up. I do believe that we're going to be competitive. We're going to be in these ball games. We're going to be in the fight. And can we do a good enough job of coaching, and our kids do a good enough job of executing, you know, down the stretch to win the games? Because, you know, I don't think we have a whole lot of games where we're going to be eating cheeseburgers at halftime and worried about who's next, because it's over. It's going to be a game that's won in the second half and the fourth quarter. That's
the kind of game, Coach, that you want. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll ask you nicely now. Let's look at the schedule and work our way through it, and then we'll do that if my man Chuck's got that. We're going to take our first break of the night. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching it now, glad to have you here. If you went back and watched this, you know, 50% of our viewers that we have go back and watch it after it's recorded. So we're excited about the level of support that we have.
I'm one of them.
There you go. If you're watching us on YouTube, you watch it live and afterwards.
I watch the Friday night games. I do. It just gives you a different perspective when it's constantly being fed. What's the flow in between things? You know, our film cuts off and cuts on and cuts out. You know, you just get a different flow to things when you're watching the live broadcast.
Well, now I've got to be careful, because do you ever sit there and go, Doug, that's not right?
No, I don't.
Well, look, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you this. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe to it. That way, when you subscribe to it, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to it. It'll pop up anytime that we go live on any of our coaches' shows, also on all three of the contests that we have, whether it is Ash, Buckeye, or Menard. You'll be able to find it here. That's the family of football teams that we're following this year on 446 Sports. We'll be right back.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk-On.
Walk-Ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
And we are back live to Walk-Ons here in Alexandria, getting ready. No, it doesn't. See, getting ready for another big night of football tomorrow night. Friday Night Lights. Again, that Menard and St. Fred's game is going on as well. You can find that's going on. Excited to have all of that. Buckeye plays tomorrow night, and the Trojans welcome in Karen Crow. Speaking of welcoming in Karen Crow, we're going to take an opportunity to look at the schedule, if Chuck can pull it up on the screen there. And I just told her, look, Chuck, when he gets the phone from me on day of show, he's like, Doug, what are you doing? Because it's always something. It looked like it got a little too big on there, the way it was just a moment ago. So you looked at the scrimmage that was there, the jamboree. You open up with Karen Crow, and anybody that sees that schedule that is on our show or on our Facebook page can find that on there. And the one that's got the purple stripe on it means it's a home game. So we're excited to welcome in the Golden Bears of Karen Crow. There it is. The Golden Bears of Karen Crow are tomorrow night. Then we hit the road for what was a home and home. We welcomed in St. Thomas More last week.
Actually, a 3-year deal, and then they'll come back to us again in, next year, 23.
Right. And so the one glaring notice, the thing that I noticed the most, make it full screen on there, Chuck, the whole schedule on there, if you will. There you go. Yeah, let's stay with that shot. You look at the pre-district schedule, and it is much tougher to say the least. Take me through a little bit of the schedule, but your mindset, and you and I have talked about it in the offseason the last couple of years about the schedule. It's up on your wall that you work on, building it on there. Take me through that schedule just a little bit.
Well, some of it is just finding people that'll play.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not, you know, we hadn't been world beaters. We've been a really solid team. We've improved. We've worked hard. And, you know, of course, we had a great year. And,
right.
you know, I mean, it's just finding people that'll play. I mean, it's amazing how hard it is to schedule games. I can't imagine being Coach Brew at Zachary or, you know, some of these
Right.
places. I mean, you know, you search and search and search, and you get agreements, and then, you know,
Well, led us going out of state last year, too. And you're seeing a large number of teams go out of state.
But these are the type of people that'll play anybody because they
Right.
struggle to, you know, to find games, and there's none of those people that are afraid to play. And
Karen Crow coming off of a state championship, their
in
second
2020,
ever.
yep.
So they were the 4A state champs then, the Golden Bears, and St. Thomas More, always a proud squad down there. It was great to see
multiple
them
state
last
champions
year.
here over the last couple of years. And
Sport after sport after sport. It's
Yeah.
just a great tradition down there. And
Coach
then we
Hightower's the second winningest coach in Louisiana high school athletic football history, I believe.
Yep. And then we make the trip back-to-back road games, and there's only 4 road games this season, so back-to-back road trips. This one sends us up I-49 to Natchitoches Central, and it'll be good to go back
And
up
Coach
there.
Wilkerson has that going. They had a phenomenal season last year. I know that, you know, quarterback got hurt at the end of the year a little
Right.
bit, I think. But,
Well, they started
out. Yeah, he's done
I
a
think,
phenomenal
7-0?
job turning that. Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
Turning that thing around and has done a great job. And playing in Turpin State. First time we'll be back to Natchitoches and you know,
yeah,
since. And it's always, I think they put down new turf, and it's always a great venue to play in, be a great experience for our kids. So, yeah, I mean, I think the home schedule's really good, and
one that you've not seen
is the road schedule.
a lot of is East Ascension. Tell us a little bit about that and maybe how that game got on the schedule.
Just searching for a game. They were available week 4, and, you know, we came to an agreement. Hey, let's do a home and home. You got to figure out which one you're going to play at your place and which year you're going to play at their place. But, you know, I think they lost 24-21 to Zachary in the second round last year. You know, always the contender, always a tough out in the playoffs. You know, coach is not afraid to play anybody. I think their schedule goes something like Zachary, Desterham, West Monroe, us, De La Salle, or something like that. So, you know, obviously they're going to be as battle-tested as anybody with the quality of competition that they're playing.
And let me ask you this. We'll get Green Oaks, and that'll cap out our non-district schedule. Green Oaks coming in for homecoming. We've seen them over the last couple of 3 years there around that homecoming time. But no stranger to anyone that the move has been made via the LHSAA to move everybody with open enrollment over to the select Division I. Are they keeping the 16 playoff spots, or do they expand it? Because there are a number of teams that are in that Division I.
I think they're deciding all that here in the coming weeks. I honestly don't know all the details. I mean, you know, I want full brackets. I mean, in Louisiana, it's 32-team brackets. It's, you know, and I understand the guys on the select side have not had that. I mean,
right.
my
and the
hope
reason,
is
but they had 11 teams in theirs last
no
year, so
doubt.
teams had buys, and now they've got 30. Yeah.
I think there's more select schools now than
there are 5A.
Okay, then there are non-select. So, look, I don't know what it's going to look like. Eventually, they're going to tell us, and you know, it'll be what it's going to be. That's not something that we can control. And so, you know, with that, I mean, you better have your focus where it needs to be.
And
you know, that's on
not
the
on week 11,
right,
but
that's on the opponent right in front of you, or there won't be a week 11.
You know, you didn't know when you were making this schedule because it got thrust upon everyone that moved to select just not long ago. This strength of schedule is going to help in power ratings and positioning and all of that. So kudos on that. And then we flip over to the second half, and that's familiar with everyone. There was some talk of moving and realigning, but everything stayed the same on there, which is fine. But look, that district schedule is as tough as anyone, especially right out of the gate. You've got Ruston and Ouachita that are there, which are tough games as always.
Great coaches in this district, guys that I have a ton of respect for, the job that they do, how their kids play, how prepared they have their kids to play. And, yeah, I think it's a great district. I think it's one of the more competitive and deeper districts in the state as far as quality of competition, and obviously we're going to be tested week in and week out, and I think that's the exciting thing. That's the fun part is, regardless of how things go, you better wake up and be ready to go because you got another opponent coming, the next Friday that's quality. And
week
I think it just pulls the best out of you if you're a competitor. That's what we're aiming for, is that it pulls our best preparation, it pulls our best work ethic, it pulls the best out of our kids, that you've got to go play well. We talked about, I think Chip Kelly's where I heard, and I'm know more people have talked about that, competitive greatness, being at your best when your best is required. It's one thing to be at your best when you're just physically superior to an opponent,
right.
But when you get into it and it's quality on quality, it's talent on talent, can you be at your best in those moments when that other guy across from you is a really good player too, and you have to do things at
right.
a high level at that point. And so I think that we've got that set up. And
in week 8, you welcome in Pineville.
Sorry, you're
again.
trying to go through it all.
And
I'm
well,
with
no,
you.
that's okay. We're going to get back to something. But week 8, you welcome in Pineville again. And last season, they got better every week of the season. So you look at week 8 in a rivalry matchup, and Coach Bell has that group playing just the spirited football. And then the other Rebels on the road next week. It seems like we go up to West Monroe every year. I don't know how that works out.
The schedule has been interesting these last couple of years as far as how it's fell. We had that odd year last year where it was just one-year deals in the district. It wasn't a and we didn't play a lot of the games because of the COVID year.
Right.
We didn't go to Ouachita. We didn't go to Ruston. We owed them trips from 2020, so we just agreed to
do that, finish it off, and then start over.
We went to West Monroe again last year. We went in 19, we went in 20, but Pineville came to us in 19, came to us in 20.
Right.
Same thing with some of these others. So, West Ouachita was supposed to come to us in 20, and the game was COVIDed out. So there was just a lot of that in our district, is why it's fallen away.
Like,
we happened to make the trip to West Monroe, so that was not a game that we lost, but we just redid the schedule from 2020 all over again in 2021. So if anybody's out there wondering why that is the way that it is, that's it. This is the start of new 2-year contracts right now.
Gotcha. Well, we love going to the burger place. It's just outside the visitors' side when you come in. The burger place up in West Monroe. So they have that. And then you finish off at West Ouachita in week
at home, senior night.
And good thing about that is, you got to be going to West Ouachita to get to West Ouachita. That's a tough road trip.
Glad to be playing that one at home.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking through there. Looks like that is a Thursday night game as well.
Friday night.
Is it
only Thursday game we have right now is this Natchitoches Central game. Actually got moved to September 15th, I believe, which is a Thursday night because Turpin Stadium shared Northwestern State.
Right. With
St. Mary's also, they share it, so I don't know how it works out of who has priority on Friday, but Coach Wilkerson called me and said, hey, man, it looks like we're going to have to go on Thursday night, and hey, where's your place? We'll do what you tell us to do.
Keep an eye out for the updated Thomas Bachman show, because we will move that show to another night. We will certainly have that, but we'll update you on that in the next couple of weeks. Coach, we're going to take another break. When we come back, let's talk to a couple of those players and new people that you got on there. We'll do that and get them involved with it. We are here at Walk-Ons on the Thomas Bachman show. We'll be right back after this 2-minute break on 446 Sports.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville, behind Arby's.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
And we are back live to Walk-Ons. And Chuck, you did it. I didn't think you could get these two guys and me all in this camera shot, but you did it. So you're sitting here with Wyatt Dozart, the senior now. You're a senior now, right?
Yes, sir.
Goodness gracious. It seems like just the other day you were a freshman and sophomore getting around up there. And, man, it's the intensity that you bring out there. Now, you've always had that, but it seemed ramped up this past Friday night.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he was ready to go. I know you guys are excited about the season. Your senior season, you got a guy come to join you over there, Bryce Rushing, that's made his way down from Cedar Creek, I believe. How's it like playing next to that guy?
It was pretty good, honestly. He kind of takes some of the double team away from me a little bit, so it helps me out.
There you go. You got to like it for something, huh? And, of course, we introduced you to Bryce Rushing just a moment ago. And so Through the Mud on Friday night is number 5. It's a new name that we'll call a lot of this year. But, Bryce, it's certainly great to have you at Ash and in Alexandria. Tell me about your thoughts about the program in your first couple of months here.
I really like it. I like what Coach Bachman has going on. He's very intense. I like it. The players, I love all of our players. We got some dogs for real, and I just love them. Their energy is unmatched.
How is it playing for the energy of a defensive coordinator in his first year in Josh Mercer?
I like him. He's very intense too. I mean, he doesn't shy away from bringing the intense either. So,
what do you guys? I mean, how you getting used to playing by each other? You know, Wyatt, you made the comment it takes some of the double teams off of you. You faced a lot of that last season, double teams, and now does it allow you to get? Well, clearly it did. We saw that on the tape. It allows you to get back to the backfield a little bit more.
Yeah, you know, and it's all about coming off, and you know, I don't know what to say.
Look, at least you guys are showing it on with your skill on there. But it helps you to know, too, the guys that are behind you at linebacker, the guys that are there at corners. You got probably two of the best corners in the state. Some hard hitters that are out there. Frees you up just to go do your job.
Yes, sir.
How is it, I mean, coming into a defense like that? And one thing, and the coaches won't tell us much about it. And you guys, I know, keep the humbleness about you. That's one of the things Coach Bachman coaches up and all of that. But, I mean, it's got to be fun in practice knowing that if something happens, you got somebody over the top of you that's protecting the backside.
Yes, sir. But, you know, the plan is not to let them make any plays. So
that's what I'm talking about.
I think me and Wyatt do a good job of that.
Just shut all of that down, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, you guys in practice every day go against top-notch offense. I mean, the offense puts up a lot of numbers. Joe is back, and he looked very good in his senior season. Dallin Cunningham just ran the ball very well. How explosive is he in practice? Because on the field, it showed, I mean, if he gets a seam, he can go another long line of Trojan running backs, but Cunningham falls right into it.
I mean, it's crazy. Like you got me and him, we're big people. I mean, we hit him as hard as we can. And if you don't wrap him up and take him to the ground, he'll bounce off of you like a little bit like a ball.
So it's better off getting to other teams instead of facing.
It's a lot easier to tackle, honestly.
You know, we've talked, and it seemed like it's been that way throughout the years. But, Bryce, going against that offense with the wideouts that they have, the need to put pressure on there, how is it going against that offense day in and day out?
It really makes us better, honestly, like, because Joe – He can get the ball out quick, and we have good wideouts that'll get the ball, and they'll get upfield on you real quick. So it helps me and Wyatt out because we gotta rush the passer quick too. So.
Well, yeah, he gets the ball out quick, and that's good to see. The schedule, you know, you're a little more familiar with it, Wyatt. This year it is definitely ramped up in intensity on there. How do you guys approach that? I mean, is that one of those things you're like, we're excited that we're getting tested this way? Or give me your thoughts on that.
I mean, it really don't change nothing. I mean, we're going to go in every day, work as hard as we can. Same thing as it was last year, like, don't really change anything.
That kind of humbleness out of them. I mean, it's your thoughts on playing in that type of a program, knowing, I mean, you look at the schedule, and I know that the only game on the schedule is the game that you're playing this week, but knowing that you came down and you're in a premier district in 2-5A, and then throw on that pre-district schedule, man, it's got to get you amped up.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Not many words out of either one of you guys. Look, the wide receivers always talk more. The linemen don't talk as much. You save it for the field. It's difficult. I'm happy I've got this much out of you guys. Tell me what you're looking forward to this season. Is there anything special, any goals that you guys have?
Going to state, really. I mean, I want to win state. We lost my sophomore year. That hurt, you know. So I just want to win. We lost a lot last year, and I hate losing, so I just want to win. You know,
that brings up a great response there. And I've talked to Coach Bachman, and he and I and a lot of the coaches have talked about this. They want a team full of people that hate losing more than they love winning. And you guys, you know, it hurts. And after a loss, you can see that in there. You can see that you guys you feel it in the gut. And that's what leads you to be better players out on the field.
Yeah. I mean, if you're working towards something, it helps you. I mean,
there you have it. So you guys looking forward to tomorrow night. Is there a ritual that you have on game day? Take me through game day and what it's like for you.
Well, you know, we go to first hour, we work out, or we do whatever, go over plays, you know, go to school.
Look, Coach Bachman's quick over here. No, we're not talking about any of that.
You know, we go.
Look, do you see how quick he got in here too? He's always monitoring things.
Yeah.
You got to know by now that I'm not giving that away. Go ahead.
We go to school all day. We go to pregame meet. We go to pregame meal. We eat. We go to the locker room. Go to sleep. We get dressed. That's pretty much it.
How does this differ? Are there any things that you do on game day, Bryce, that you've been doing for years?
I mean, they make fun of me for it, but, like, I'm the only one on the team that brings a sleeping bag and a pillow. I bring we always go in the indoor and take a pretty good nap after that pregame meal, and I always get made fun of it for it, but it's been working for me all 4 years, so I feel like.
Look, what's the bet that before the season's over that some more of those guys are bringing sleeping bags and pillows in?
I've already tried to convince them. Me and Joe have been talking about him bringing pillows and blankets too. So,
well, look, we're looking forward to it. I know we are less than 24 hours away until kickoff. I know you guys are ready to get out on the field. I such great ambassadors for the city of Alexandria. Wyatt Dozart, Bryce Rushing. We certainly appreciate you taking time to sit down with us, and good luck tomorrow night and the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go, sitting here with Wyatt Dozart, Bryce Rushing, and this is probably the calmest that I've ever been in the middle of two big old guys like this, because they'll bring it on Friday nights. If you don't believe that, tune in tomorrow night and you'll see it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get Coach Bachman back over here, and along with one of his new coaches, talk a little more Ash Trojan football. You're watching it live right here on 446 Sports.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, It's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk-On.
Walk-Ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
And we are back live to Walk-Ons, another beautiful Thursday night here. The rain has been off and on the last couple of weeks. Coach, how's the field looking?
It was good. You know, we were out there and it soaked us today and run through. And then, you know, we've got the junior highs playing on it tonight. They've got the junior high jamboree. And I'll go back by the stadium on my way home after this and kind of check. It's going to be fine. It's a field.
You know, that doesn't surprise me any that you go back.
It's the last year on it, so, you know, let's get all the use out of it we can.
Well, Coach, we are joined now by one of your new coaches. He's familiar to a lot of people in this area, fresh out of Grant High School and LSU as well, and certainly great to have you in here, Micah Dickens.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Good. Look, another one of these guys that talks a lot softer than he plays, because I've seen him go out there and play some football.
He's probably anxious. There ain't no reason to be anxious, man. I'm telling you, it's fine. It's just us having a conversation. But no, he's been a great addition, and asking him to come on is not trying to fill airtime. I mean, I'm really impressed with the potential and what he's going to be as a coach and what he's already brought in just his short time with us. I think passion is something that you either have or you don't have, and I think that bleeds into the kids. If you love it and you're passionate about it and you care about it and it's important to you, I think that the kids, they pick up on that, and we pick up on that, and I think that it's very evident that he has all those things, so we've been excited to have him.
Well, Micah, your thoughts on coming in, because he used the word a couple of times of intensity on there. These practices, I've seen them. The coaches that are on that staff, intensity says it. What do you think about that staff that you've joined?
Oh, yes, sir. It's just a, great staff, great football coaches, but even above that, great men. And then, of course, Coach Bachman, he wants us to win and it, pushes us and expects that. But the thing I've been most impressed is that, he's a man of faith, and most of our guys on our staff are men of faith, and it's great being in an environment like that. On top of the excellence, he pushed us in football.
Well, certainly knowing you grew up in that too, and it's got to be it's great for me to be around that and be a part of that, and the way they instill that in those kids too. And when we were in the locker room the other day and he introduced us, I was like, that's a perfect fit for this coaching staff and this school. So I know I speak for a lot of folks when I say welcome aboard.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're in charge of take me through your coaching duties. You'll be over the safeties,
yes,
and what else?
Yes, sir. I'm just over the safeties right now. Coach Mercer, he had it, but now he's DC, of course. So I'm kind of been under his wing, and it's been a blessing to learn a lot of things from him. Look,
I'm telling you, you learn a lot. He's got to be one of the, if not the best DC around, and just a spirited guy in himself. And look, it was a rush when we'd walk down to see who would pull up the tape and start watching it first, him or Coach McLaughlin, which one would get out there on the film and do it. Just a student of the game and a tactician, and great person to be around.
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely. He's very, very detailed. That's the thing I was most impressed with, is how, how he breaks down everything, and then on top of that, he's very motivational to the guys as well. So,
tell us a little bit back. I know you went to Grant High School. Take us through your career there, and then your career at LSU.
Oh, yes, sir. I just got done from Grant, now at Ash, of course. It was great, getting to the high school game. I did special teams over there, did receivers and DBs. But then, this opportunity presented itself, and so I couldn't, turn this down. And then going to my college career, played at Grant High School, then went to LSU, walked on, and I've learned a lot of things from over there. And so that's been a of great value to me.
What are you able to instill in these kids and teach these kids? Because year in and year out, Ash has a number of players that have made their way into different colleges that are on there. And to have a coach that went through that experience on there, that's got to help out a little bit.
Oh, yes, sir. I think I can, I'm still young, so I can still relate to the guys and that aspect. And then, of course, being at LSU, seeing the day in and day out grind, I can kind of relate that to the guys too. Because some guys think it's easy work or don't understand what it takes, and it's a whole different level when you get to that.
How is the speed difference in the game between Grant High School and Tiger Stadium?
Yeah, most definitely big time. But being at LSU and seeing how some of them guys move, we got some guys at Ash that definitely can go to that next level. And so,
look, it's coaching some of the guys that you're coaching on. So we talked to Wyatt and Bryce a little bit earlier, and we talked about what great corners and safeties and linebackers that they had behind them. And Bryce looked at me and he says, "Our goal is not to let them get back there." And
Yes,
so
sir.
that's good to hear. There's friendly competition between such a solid defense.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely.
What are you looking forward to this season? I know it's a tough schedule in there, but just seeing the maturity of these kids as they grow, or what do you take away from this game this season?
In front of Karen Crow?
Yeah.
I think it's, the first game, like Coach Bachman has said, this isn't no easy game for the first game, not bashing anybody else, but most guys, their first game is a little cupcake game. But Coach Bachman, putting this on the schedule as the first game, we're kind of setting the standard, what we want. Like Coach Bachman says, we'll put the ball down with anybody.
Spot a ball. We've heard that, Coach, I don't know how many times.
Coach Free said it, and yeah, we say it a lot to our kids, and I think it's important that it gets into them, into who they are, that, trying to preach to them that, man, these are the ones to look forward to, measuring yourself against great competition, where your best is going to be required. And we're going to have to play well. We're going to have to play extremely well. These guys are really good, very physical team, very well coached, a lot of confidence, and they fly around. They got good players too, they got good players. That matters.
Right.
So yeah, we're excited about it. It'll be here soon enough. Hopefully we get a little sleep tonight.
Very little, if I know you, Coach. Very, very little. Look, I saw your wife's here, and she laughed when you said that. So, yeah, she knows what the night before game one is. Tell me a little bit about the JV and the freshmen. I was very impressed with their outing last Friday night in the Jamboree. Defense has played well in that one too, and then you had this week with Natchitoches Central, I believe, too. So
yeah, on Monday night, played well, played hard. They're still learning. When it's not like we have a whole lot in. Line up, play base, play the fundamentals. Defensive side of the ball, play blocks. React to formations, being able to line up and. Have your eyes where they belong, and then run to the football, play with an energy, play with an effort that is unmatched, and if you'll do that, a lot of times you're going to have a chance to have success, and I do think that they've done a lot of those things, and, hopefully, as the year goes on, we're able to get some more. It's hard to get them all the time that you want to get them when, there's another Friday night staring you in the face. And,
right.
Those kids are serving the team in so many ways, a lot of scout reps, and, I would hope that it's a relief sometimes on Monday night to get to go block,
somebody
other JV
besides
kids,
right.
Other than the starters, or being blocked by the guys that are starters is something that I think makes them better, hopefully every day on the practice field. But excited about the start. We've got a competitive JV and freshman. We're going to go down to St. Thomas More before it's all said and done. We'll go to Ruston. West Monroe's coming to us at the end of the year, playing a lot of the same, playing a lot of the same teams. So we just agreed in our district at the all-district meeting last year that we need to play some of these. That if you play on Friday night at home, then you travel on Monday to that opponent. So in week 6, Ruston comes to us on Friday. We go to them on Monday. Week 7, we go to Ouachita. Ouachita comes to us on Monday. Play JV and freshman games.
We'll be able to keep an eye on that way.
For whatever the reason, it's something that we need to do. It's just been hard to get some local games, to be honest with you, that are where we're playing full games and we're playing special teams and developing kids, regardless of how it goes. They need those reps.
They do, and historically, there's been a freshman or a sophomore that has stepped up and made an impact. Varsity. I know we've done that. There's some guys out there that you're looking at that are making some headways defensively or offensively.
I can remember being told when I was in high school. I thought it was a good point that was made. My position coach in high school when I was freshman or sophomore, everybody thinks they're ready to play on varsity right out the gate. And he told us, till everybody in the stands in the JV games says that's the best player on the field. He doesn't belong out there. Don't come talk to me about being a varsity starter. You should stand out and make a difference if you think you're one of those guys. And you have a lot of those guys man, this kid's flying around and he looks different out here. Let's get him on a kickoff. Let's get him on something. Let's give him some opportunities to go prove that he can play. And, our kids have been great in that regard that they want to compete rather than looking down at I don't want to play Monday night. Well, if you love to play and you're a competitor, why do you not want to play? And so our kids, have been great as far as it's an opportunity to improve. It's just practice. You got officials out there. You just can't replace those live game reps that they get in.
And they're going against some future guys that are going to be the dudes later on. I mean, you're seeing that progression. If you're playing the West Monroes and Rustons and St. Thomas Moores, these guys are the ones that you're going to be seeing in the future.
They have really deep rosters, and they do a good job of coaching. So we're going to get stressed as we move forward. The competition will only increase as we move forward. I really believe that, in our schedules, with the JV and freshmen. But I'm proud of them. I'm proud with the start that we're off to. We'll go to North DeSoto here this coming Monday.
Okay, there you go. We look forward to hearing about the future ones. And that quarterback on the freshman team, just he's going to be a lot of fun to watch before he gets out of there.
He's got a lot of contact courage and
contact courage. That's a good word. There's always going to be a Bachman-ism that we'll learn throughout the year.
That's just something hearing through football these years, but. Football's a game. It's a contact sport.
Right.
It's a collision sport, and that it's not a natural thing to take your body and run full speed into another person running full speed. That's not a natural thing for people to do, and so finding those kids that have that courage and seek it out and are not afraid of that contact and safely how we teach it and all that.
Right.
I mean, but you're never going to take the physicality out of the game.
That's one of the things that I saw. And Coach, we're sitting here with the newest Trojan coach, Micah Dickens, and I know the spirit and intensity that you play the game with. I saw a lot of that on the field on Friday night out of that defense that you guys have. There was a lot of guys that just did not get away from tackling. Let's just say that they were really aggressively going after it.
Yes, sir, and that's one thing, I came in late during the summer, but, Coach Mercer, Coach Bachman have already established that. I mean, we was tackling the tackling wheels, the dummies, so we took what we do in practice and try to, go out there in the game and, perfect it. So, I mean, that's one thing. When you play defense, you can't be scared. You got to tackle. So
didn't look like there was that you need to motivate those guys at all. I mean, it looks like it's not a competition between the guys that are out there, but it may be a friend who can get to the ball the fastest. And there's been a long history of tacklers on this team, guys that just ball hawks, if you will, that go to the football. Man, I saw a number of them out there this week.
Oh yes, sir. One of our safeties, Tay, he's a great leader. There's times we kind of have to reel him back, his emotions get to him sometimes. But, when guys are missing tackles or doing things, I've seen him, personally get the defense in the huddle and say, hey, come on, guys, we got to do better and, lead them and try to motivate them. So.
And you can't teach that. I mean, that's one of those things that you have to have.
He's a senior. He's been in the program a long time. We do have some seniors in the back half.
Right.
Anxious to see what Jason Blackwell brings to the table, getting him back. We've had some guys that have been out. I think when we scrimmaged the night, Neville and Acadiana, we had 8 guys in street clothes. A handful of potential starters or guys that are in that 1A 1B role and getting reps and contributing. And, I'm hoping that we can add as many of those here tomorrow night and then in the coming weeks that we get. But Tay is one of those guys, and you know, we need him. You know, Tay's an influencer. I tell him all the time, you're a leader. Which way you going to lead them? You know, you got.
Well, that's huge. So we're looking forward to it, Coach. We're going to take our final break of the evening. Here we are wrapped up in this already. Week 1 is here. We are live at Walk-Ons. Excited about it. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more X's and O's about that Karen Crow team that we're going to play, the Golden Bears, coming up. We'll talk what we'll see when the defense is out there. We'll talk about the attack, as little as we can get away with. Look, I'm telling you, I know everything is vanilla when we talk about it on here, but that'll give us an idea on what we talk about, and we'll do all of that when we come back. You're watching the Thomas Bachman Show exclusively right here on 446 Sports.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
And we are back live to Walk-Ons, and great crowd in here tonight, Coach. A number of folks that have made it out. I can gauge seasons by Coach OJ's son, how much older he got.
Yeah,
Because
no doubt.
when we first met him, he was negative years old.
Wait till you see Mercer's little girl. I mean, it's funny. They came in the field house the other day, and it's like, goodness great. I sent a picture to Kim. She said, oh, my gosh, wasn't she born yesterday? I said, no.
We talk so much on this show about family. And, you and I have this staff that is there. I mean, it's a tight-knit group. You lose a couple of it off of it this year. Longtime defensive coordinator Dwayne Severio, who has went off to Louisiana Christian University. And I know that was an adjustment, but you got one of the finest young defensive minds and football minds altogether stepping up there as DC.
Yeah, I mean, I love Coach Severio. Coach Severio in so many ways was a mentor to me. You know, I know that there was, I guess I'm the head coach, he's the DC, but I relied heavily on him. I trusted him, his instincts, his knowledge, his work ethic. I've said all the time, when we talk about it, nobody worked harder. He taught us all what true work ethic and how to pour yourself into it was what it was, and we do have that staff. I mean, it's great camaraderie on our staff. It doesn't mean there's not moments of tension. I'm pretty sure, there's times where they are upset with me for various reasons, but they're just such an incredible group of men. I don't notice it much,
Yeah, but when you look at it, I mean, they're
incredible. It's an incredible group. I mean, I really am fortunate, and I say, look, there might be a lot like that out there. I just don't think there is. I mean, I think the camaraderie that we have, and we talk about it as a staff, the way we interact, and, the kids can see what our relationships are and aren't. And that's going to bleed into the locker room. And, we just are really fortunate that I think it's, one, people that want to work.
Right.
Asking these guys to come in on Saturday morning is not like that they do a good job is important to them.
Right.
It's not a, hey, you're making people. They want to prepare and they want to do a good job. And I think it's very complimentary to each other, and different people's strengths and weaknesses I think it complements each other. So look, it's a long year. There'll be moments of tension.
Well, yeah, but that all families have that, Coach. I mean,
that's right.
Look,
that's
as,
right.
as much
to the kids about that.
as much as I try to convince people of it, it's not. My wife doesn't love me the most all the time. Sometimes
that's right.
I aggravate her a little bit,
That's
but we're
right.
there fighting for the common cause.
That's right. I try and compare it to, hey, any of y'all got brothers? Yep, sure do. You ever mix it up with your brother a little bit? You better believe it, you know. But at the end of the day, nobody else is going to mix it up with your brother, and
you're exactly right. I want to point out something. Going across the bottom of the screen right now, you see the crawl that scores from around the area. Tioga up 27-0 over Bolton in the second, and Menard and St. Fred. St. Fred's has a 7-0 lead in that one. You'll see the scroll of all of the games that we cover throughout, as well as some from Rapides Parish, will be on there. And I appreciate my man Chuck Perkins for doing everything that he does, and the folks here at Walk-Ons. Now, Coach, we are 56 minutes into this, and we've not really talked about tomorrow night's game very much X's and O's wise, but we've had so much to pack into tonight. Golden Bears are coming to town tomorrow night from Karen Crow. What do you see in them?
A very physical football team, play with a lot of effort, well coached, know their schemes really, really well. Right. Comfortable in what they do. Experienced quarterback, hurt his knee, maybe late regular season, I think it was last year, but he's back, and so he's got some experience. And
they
really
mirror that Acadiana offense a lot because
they
the
get
coach
in the gun
came
a little
from,
bit more.
right.
How much they do it tomorrow night, but on film they've been in the gun,
Right.
11 personnel doing some little bit more of in the gun, but they definitely it's split back beer, and they're really good up front.
Come get you, right?
Offensive line is great, coached really, really well. Kids play really, really hard. It's I've said this several times through the years. Sometimes watching good football is fun as a football coach. Watching kids that are competing their tails
Right.
off and battling and like, ooh, man, this kid's fun to watch. Now sometimes you realize like, ooh, we fixing to, but it is. The effort that they play with is, as a coach, is fun to watch with, because it's what you. I mean, it's what it's about. It's what
Right.
you're trying to get out of your kids. And our kids play hard for us, but you're always, it's good to see on film. That's what
But you
I could
knew that
ramble
going
about
into the
that
season.
forever.
That's what you wanted. You want those games that mean something each and every single week
That's
for
right.
four solid quarters. Now, you'd like to go out there in all of these games and then be over at halftime. They're going to let you know that you're going to have a pretty good year out of that. But learning and getting deep into it, I say that jokingly.
It's
this
just
is
hard.
going to be great football.
Winning the games and making the halftime adjustments or the tweaks to the scheme and the play-to-play, series-to-series, things that are going on, because they're over there attacking, and hey, they're in this front and they're shading it here. All right, let's block it this way, and
Right.
just the back and forth. And they do a really good job of that stuff. And their kids are coached, and so that when you get out there, their kids are able to adjust because they have them prepared on both sides of the ball. So, it's going to be great competition.
It'll be a lot of fun. We invite everybody to come out to Alexandria Senior High School tomorrow night. If you cannot, we will go on with our pregame at 6:30. Kickoff will be at 7 o'clock. We're looking forward to that. And again, it will be on our YouTube channel and our Boxcast channel forever. We'll put some highlights up after the game. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow night. Couldn't do a bit of this without our sponsors. Of course, Walk-Ons, you see them is where we're at. The cup that's right here. See, I learned you got to learn to point the monitor's a different place. But of course, we're grateful for Ricky Tompkins and the group here at Walk-Ons. They are nothing but hospitable and friendly. Did you see the new area that they added on back here? They've got the roof and the TVs out here and all that. It's completely different than when we were here.
Yep, we're going to have to get out there a little bit, aren't we?
As soon as it gets below 90, we'll get
no doubt.
we'll get out
No
there.
doubt.
They've got the big fans out there, and that's the time that you want to come out and be a part of it. Of course, we said it's brought to you, the Thomas Bachman Show, by Sadler's Towing and Walk-Ons. Couldn't do a thing without it. And look, she answers the phone. Janelle does. Anytime I get to call, it's like, hey, look, I've got this problem, I've got that, and they're quick to go
Solved
down
in a hurry, isn't it?
Look, they are phenomenal people. They're a phenomenal business and phenomenal supporters of local high school sports around here and the Ash Trojans. So, Coach, it's been a phenomenal night here. 23 hours away from it. We're ready to get this thing going.
It's going to be here soon.
So, what are you going to come out with offensively? You're not going to tell. I said, what are you going to come out with offensively? You're not going to. I know. Look, anybody that knows they're not ever going to get that from him. Intensity, execution, and fundamentals. That we're going to come out with
Game's
tomorrow
about
night.
execution, no doubt about that.
Well, Coach, looking forward to another big season. I think this does make season 5 or 6 that we've been doing. You've been at Ash. How long? What season is this?
Season 8.
Okay, so we've been doing this for
Time's
7
flown.
years. This is year 7 for us that we've been doing the show. And I think I don't know if I've aged and you hadn't, or you've aged and I haven't on the camera. I don't know.
I'm sure I have.
Man, we're ready for a great year. Coach Thomas Bachman ready to lead the Alexandria Trojans out for the 2022 season. Looking forward to a great year. Tune in tomorrow night or make it out to the stadium. Either way, we're looking forward to having you around. Head Coach Thomas Bachman, thank you so much. My executive producer, Chuck Perkins. Couldn't do a bit of it without Chuck there. And all of you that are watching along with us, thank you so much. God bless you all, and good night. We'll see you tomorrow.